All right. So welcome everyone to Heart to Spirit Connections. I'm Karinna Nielsen, and I welcome everybody here that's live on the call, on the meeting here in Zoom. And welcome to everybody who's coming in on the recording later. Our topic this month for Heart to Spirit Connections is, could this be your month of transformation or your time of transformation? And from what I hear from people around me and what I'm feeling myself, yes, it is a time of transformation. And we can go with it and weave with it and enjoy it, or we can resist and it's not quite as pleasant. But I know that even some of you on the call, especially anybody here from Florida, is experiencing transformation in many different ways, physically. And, we talk about healing on all four bodies: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And that's what we're seeking. We're seeking the healing on all four bodies and balancing. So it's not something that's we're going to get from today to tomorrow, right? I mean, this is a life journey that we've all signed up for. And so every day we have an opportunity to take the steps toward healing ourselves and aging our souls. And I'm going to share with you a few things today about the transformations going on in my life. And I'm sure you've got your own stories, and I've got stories from some other people that are just really wonderful. So I want to begin with an opening prayer. So this is just to center us and to set our intention for the program. So everybody sit back and take some of those nice, deep prana breaths that my mentor, Kahu Fred Sterling, was always so adamant about. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just relax into the energy of this program and all of us gathered here together as I call upon the Creator's light, the Christ light, the Goddess wheel of love, the Master Guide Kirael, and the Master Kahu Fred Sterling, and my mentor, my energies of Master Elion, and all the beautiful angels and guides and guardian lights that are participating with us today, the higher selves of everyone on the program and those coming in later. We ask for the energy of love to surround our program and to bring forth the energy of transformation for this month and for the rest of our lives on earth, because we know it's about the great shift in consciousness. And we came here for this time, and it's a time for us to heal ourselves and age our souls and bring forth the love that will balance us on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. And we're grateful for signature cell healing. We're grateful for all the Lemurian wisdom that came forth through Master Kahu Fred Sterling, from our Master Guide Kirael, the 10 principles of consciously creating, the Lemurian numerology, and more, in humble love and gratitude. And thank you from our hearts in love. Amen. Okay, so that's just a short prayer for our Heart to Spirit Connections, which is our monthly webinar program, and it's free, and it's always available on my website, KarinnaNielsen.com, or on my YouTube channel. And together, we're discovering on this program new levels of self-love using the tools of Lemurian wisdom that I was speaking about before in the prayer. So what I like to do is use the Lemurian numerology and the Lemurian prophecy cards. So too bad Sandra's not here because she loves this. So I've got my cards right here. I always keep them in this nice box. And if you want to learn more about the cards, I do readings with the cards, the Lemurian cards. So I'm gonna bring them out here, and here they are. This is just a simple card deck, is a regular card deck. So I'm gonna You're going to shuffle 5 times because in the Lemurian numerology, 5 is the number for love. And we want to put the energy of love in the cards and refresh it each time because it has a different intention this time. And this time the intention is for the purpose of this program. So everyone send your light into the cards, into the deck of the cards. And we'll get a message. Thank you. We'll get a message to cut the cards. And what do we have here? So this is the 2 of clubs. Now, in the Lemurian prophecy cards, we have the diamonds are the physical body because there's 4 bodies, right? Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Diamonds are the physical. Hearts are the emotional body. The spades are the spiritual body, and the clubs are the mental body. And the number 2 is all about balance. And it's about balancing the yin yang energies of the 3rd dimension in order to elevate our thoughts into the next dimensional energies of the 4th light and the 5th light, and bring forth the goddess love, which balances that yin and yang. Because it's not about finding what's good or what's bad or what's left or what's right or everything that we've been taught to do in the 3rd dimensional world, right? But we need to go beyond that now and find the balance. So with the balance, we'll find the truth. So it's not about something is good or bad. What is the actual purpose of what we're seeing or what we're experiencing? And if you go to the yin and the yang, you might miss that. And we'd be off on a trail of judgment and understanding the world the way it used to be. But now in this great shift in consciousness, things are changing. So I'm going to put that there and get a little bit more. If you have questions about, anytime you have a question, because I can ramble on, please put it in the chat or just raise your hand. There's no problem with that anytime. And I want to get into, first of all, the numerology for this month. So if you go onto my website under the, I think it's Lemurian wisdom section somewhere there, is the Lemurian numerology. And the number 7 is the number for transition. And this month, excuse me, I asked our master guide Kirael what he would like to, oh, we got somebody in here, what he would like to us to know about this month. Here's Sandra. Here's Sandra. Ha, you see? Sandra, she made it. Okay, so Sandra, we already pulled the card, but that's all right. So the number 7 for this month is about transition, but I asked Master Kirael, could he put a little bit more light on that for this particular year? And there is a channeling from Master Guide Kirael on my website, which you can find in the channel guidance section if you didn't get my newsletter. And he chooses to call this the month of transformation or a time of transformation. Now, transformation, that's a different word than transition, because transition to me evokes something of change, right? Changing something. Transformation is also change, but it's like creating a completely different form or a completely different aspect. And I asked you to think about the caterpillar that goes into the chrysalis and eventually becomes the butterfly. But imagine that caterpillar doesn't really know what's going on, right? The caterpillar has to go through this process, and it's in the cocoon or in the chrysalis or whatever you call that. I think it's a cocoon in the beginning, right? And the legs are falling off. I mean, it's losing its body parts. Everything is shifting in there, right? And it really doesn't know what's going on. And can you imagine what would be in the thoughts of that caterpillar? Like, oh, I think I did something wrong, or I should have been nicer to my neighbors, or, maybe I made the wrong choice back there. And can I go back and change it now? And no, you can't, right? Because you can't get out of there. So think about that for us. I mean, we're in this process of transformation, and we can't turn back. There is no turning back. And before I continue with that little metaphor, this book over here, and I want to make sure I got the book here in full view for you, and it's Guide to the Unseen Self by my mentor, Carl Fred Sterling. This is one of the first books I worked on with the publishing company. But there's a chapter in there called Your Shifting Body, There's No Turning Back. And what do you know? It's chapter 7. So I'm telling you, go and read that chapter, because I was, browsing through it as I was, considering this program. And there's some parts in there that are just like, oh my God, it's happening, and Mary Faith, I mean, you go read that one, because I mean, I'm looking at page 113 there, and he's talking about the shifting out of the lower chakra, right? That the first, second, and third chakra are starting to cleanse out. And, long story short, we're going to lose them, and we're going to center in the heart, right? As the bottom chakra. But when we say that, people get scared, right? They go, oh my God, I'm going to lose my lower chakra. Oh no, I need them, and maybe we do. So that's where we focus the healing now. And you might find that you are having, personally, I'm having, the skeletal things and the muscular things. So, I mean, that's really first chakra, second chakra energies. So if you're going through that, and also third chakra, which is, relationships or your mental processing. I mean, all of these is where a lot of our healing is focused right now. And it isn't just the emotional level of those things, it's also the actual physical level that's transforming. So what's happening is, like the caterpillar in the cocoon, we are shifting our body parts, and our physical body is becoming more enlightened. As we do, excuse me, the signature cell healing, and we come in on programs like this, we do the breathing, we do the 5 breath self-healing meditation, which you can read about on the signaturecellhealing.com website. We do all of that, or we take workshops like I'm going to have in August, online workshops like the first steps of signature cell healing. We start to enlighten the cells of our physical body, and that awakens the cellular consciousness. And that cellular consciousness has the memory that's connected to the pineal, the signature cell in the pineal gland, with our blueprint. And so your cells and your pineal gland, the blueprint, knows it's time. We're awakening. It's the great shift. And we're all here, and we're healing ourselves and elevating our love to the next level. So when you're doing that breathing, that love that you feel for yourself, the creator love, the golden particles that you're bringing into your physical embodiment, it starts to shift. And so all of these things that are going on for us, it's all good. Please tell yourself that. I tell myself that a lot. It's all good. So we're shifting. It's all good. We just need to, and what do I always tell you? 5 or 50. Take the 5 steps or the 50 steps, whatever it takes to get you through whatever's going on. Keep going. Don't stop. And I said that recently, and don't lose my metaphor with the caterpillar, okay? I had an email exchange with someone that a person that some of you know that lives very far away from here. There's nobody here locally. And she is going through an incredibly transformative time. And she told me that, hey, my husband just told me he doesn't love me anymore, and I need to move out, and I don't know where I'm going to go, and I don't know what's going to happen. and I don't want to go back and live with my parents. And, you know, what should I do? And I was reading this and I was thinking, you know, this sounds really familiar, you know? And it just so happens that I was in exactly that same situation when I was 29, 30, living with my first husband in Switzerland. And it's exactly the same thing that happened to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. That time of transformation that I had was so, so scary. I was so scared. I mean, I really was absolutely a different person than I am now. I mean, it's all about the transformative process, right? But when you're in those process of transformation, is my point here, that you don't know what the end result is going to be, right? So I at that time, I had no idea. All I could do was put one foot in front of the other and decide, okay, here's where I'm going to go, you know, because I have to. So sometimes that transformative process is a have to. You have to. And that's what I said, like in the write-up for our program today. Sometimes these changes or these transformations, we have a choice in them, right? We want to choose, okay, I'm gonna start to exercise, or I'm gonna eat better food, or I'm gonna have you know, dry January, or this kind of stuff that we do, right? Those are choices, but sometimes it feels like those choices are being made for us. So what's that about, right? And I feel that, for example, I mean, for me, looking back 30 years ago, I can see that that was a choice that came out of my blueprint. It was absolutely something that was planned, that I planned with whoever else was involved in my life at that time, to have that experience, to have that transformation. So I would leave my old life behind and I would step into the new life. And I told this lady that had emailed me that at that time, it felt like my life was a series of dominoes. And that was just the first domino that went. And it hit another one and another one and another one. And then the whole thing just went down like that. And as soon as I took well, I mean, I didn't even have to take a step, because the step was, I felt like, you know, why is this happening to me, right? And I'm sure our lady feels that way too. But it's in our blueprints, these things. Nobody's doing these things to us. Everything in our lives is for our benefit. We've just got to find out what it is, right? And sometimes it doesn't really even matter what it is. It's just about taking the step forward. And there's no right or wrong. Move forward into the transformation, and you'll see the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. And how do you do that? And I mentioned to this lady, you got to use what you know, because she knows signature cell healing. She knows the 5 breath self-healing meditation. She knows about masterminding and the 10 principles of consciously creating. So folks, at this time, when life gets tough and these transformational times come up, that's when we've got to use what we know. We've got to get into meditation and listen to the guidance. So the answers are there because it's coming from your heart, and your heart is going to guide you through the difficult times, or what feel like the difficult times. And, you know, there will be difficult times. That's why we're here. We're here for transformation, and we're here for growth. And getting back to the caterpillar, that's the whole process. And sometimes that caterpillar just has to be. They have to be in the place where they are, allow the transformation to process, go through it using everything that the caterpillar knows. Maybe the caterpillar knows the 10 principles. How do we know? It could be in their masterminding, you know? And then eventually that caterpillar is going to come out and become the butterfly, but not until it's ready, until it's physically ready and you can't rush it, right? Everybody knows what happens when you try and help that caterpillar out of the cocoon. It doesn't work. The caterpillar has to emerge fully formed. So remember that. I try to remember that when I'm going through whatever's going on in my life, that I've got to be engaged in the process, and I've got to understand there's something in here that I need to understand. Somebody's giving me a message here. What is it? And if everything is to my benefit in this lifetime and in this world, I'm going to find out what it is that this is supposed to teach me. And you know what, folks, another part of this is the process of releasing or healing the past lives. And that's another thing that Master Guide Kirael is talking about in the Guide to the Unseen Self in that 7th chapter, is we're getting into that process of, for all of us, everybody on this call for sure, it's your last lifetime as human on Earth. So we're not going to come back here. So we absolutely pack those blueprints full of plenty of really entrenched things that we want to heal and we want to understand and we want to offer up to our higher selves in the form of healing and learning. And so we're doing that, and we can choose to do that with a smile on our faces or we can grit our teeth and go through it, or we can just be like that caterpillar. And when we come out of the time, we will have that butterfly effect, and we can fly after that. We can go anywhere, fly miles and miles, where a caterpillar could only just crawl across a leaf. So talk about a transformative process. That's the one to think about when you might feel in the midst of something that is so extremely difficult, like our friend there that I was talking about, because it does feel very difficult at the time. And I know the feeling because it was, but I kept going. And what happened was it ended up just, some of you have heard the whole story, but it was so, people would call it random, that I met the man I'm married to right now. And I had to leave that old life behind in order for me to be where I am now and what I'm doing, obviously. So, there is hope. Just remember to do the 5 or 50 and keep breathing and keep going. And you know what else? I'll tell you one other thing. We have each other as well. And I'm so grateful that our friend, emailed me about what's going on for her, because we're here for each other to help each other to heal and to remember that we're here. What we're doing is all about love, and we can hold each other in our hearts, right? So I'm going to thank you, Wendy. So I just want to stop and see if you have any questions. This is an incredible time. We can look outside of us in the world in general and see it, right? But we don't have to. It's right within ourselves that all these transformations are happening. And fortunately, we have the tools to get through what we need to get through and get into the healing process. So thank you. Mary Faith says she will look at, I think that was in reference to the book, right? Yeah, so that's a wonderful book. And all the books from Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirael, including what you see back up there, is the Signature Cell Healing ebook. It's now an ebook. Behind me also, over here, is the 10 Principles of Consciously Creating. So I did mention that we're going to do an online workshop, and that registration is beginning on I think it's Thursday, July 25th. I'm going to open the registration. This is a wonderful workshop, and some of you have already done this workshop before. I encourage you to come in again. I'm going to, shift it up. It's the month of transformation. So I'm going to transform it a bit. And please watch for that in my newsletter, and also on the website signaturecellhealing.com, and also on KarinnaNielsen.com. It will be for 4 consecutive Saturdays, and it's only about two hours each time. And we'll have the recordings available, and you get some discounts, and you get some I'm going to throw in some free stuff, and really look forward to meeting all of you that I haven't seen there before, and to welcome back those that have done it before. So back to our topic again, the transformation. So this is why July is my favorite month of the year, because I always get into this, and it's not just my own physical transformation that I'm working on. And I'm telling you, after reading that chapter, I feel a little even better about it, because I realize it's a process of we're assuming our light bodies. So our bodies are getting lighter, and we're readying for that incarnate great shift. So remember that the great shift has happened many times on this planet. The Creator has taken all the people off of the planet and then reset it with a ice age, or what do we got now? Global warming, anything to reset the planet, and then put the people back on, and then evolve back up. Well, this time we have the opportunity and the great honor to do this great shift incarnate. So we're going to stay in our physical bodies, but they're going to enlighten, and we're going to raise our vibration into the next light. And that's what Master Guide Kirael talks about in the book, The Great Shift, when he talks about the 3 days of darkness. So those are the 3 days, or whatever, give or take, a few hours. We're going to go down, and when we come back up, then we will have this new enlightened world. So you can read more about that in Kirael the Great Shift, or on my website as well. Does that bring up any questions? Because that's really the process we're engaged in right now. And I think it's a wonderful time. Yeah. Mary Faith, did you have a question? Maybe not. Okay. All right. So I want to get, let's see, where are we? We're at 9:30 already. Oh, okay. So if you haven't got a question, I actually had a meditation. And I know, please share, in emails, Karinna@KarinnaNielsen.com. If you might not want to share right now about, transformations that are going on in your life. I know in all aspects of my life, there are different, not just my physical body, but also in things, other groups that I'm engaged with, and other things around me. There's a process of transformation happening, and it can be scary for some, but I think it's a process of life. And when we have the tools that we need to get through it, it's a beautiful time. Okay, so any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
Hey, Karinna, thank you so much for this. It's a butterfly is such a great way to, do we want to crawl or fly? Well, sometimes you want to crawl into a hole, but I think flying is a better choice. But, sometimes for me, and we're so fortunate to have you in our lives and have these meetings that you give us, and signature cell healing and all of the above. But sometimes for me, what's really challenging when my friends are suffering, you know, and I see that, and maybe I could say to myself, well, I know that's our blueprint, or that's these, we're making these choices, but it's like somehow staying in a compassionate place. And I don't know, I find that one of the most challenging things in my life, to be supportive of people who are going through rough times. I don't know. I guess I'm just saying that. If you have some
Oh,
really
that's a beautiful point. That's wonderful. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much for that, because that's also what we see now. That is so much what I personally see with certain people in my lives that are really undergoing, and Aldine knows, you know, some of the people I'm talking about, that it is a difficult, and I'm a Cancer moon. I have, you know, we want to nurture, we want to heal, and to remember that the caterpillar has to go through it itself and to do the transformation, but it doesn't mean that we can't pray for that person. And that is immediately what I do. We'll go into prayer and send that person light and healing. And if you say, well, you know, hey, I've never done signature cell healing, I really don't know how to do that distance thing. And yes, you do. So all we need to do is just go and sit someplace quietly and dedicate our thoughts and our heart energy to that person, and just send a beam of light from our heart to that person. You know where they are, and just see them surrounded in light and held in love, and just light them up, and even see a light in front of them as they're walking forward. Just light their path to go forward. And you can tell them that. I think it helps people to know, hey, somebody's praying for me. We have a beautiful, magical healing prayer bowl at the Honolulu Church of Light. And that's where we put the prayer requests. We have them like this. And then when we're in person, we fill out the form, right, and put it in the bowl. But you can just as well take that person, the thought of that person, and at 11:30 p.m. Hawaii time, we all send our light, whether we're awake or asleep. We send our consciousness to that bowl at Honolulu Church of Light, and we light up the prayer bowl. And so all the names, or all the people, you can even go stand in the prayer bowl yourself. I do that every night. I go stand in the prayer bowl. So, I mean, we want to hold people in love and light, and prayer is the most beautiful way to do that for someone. Also, you know, just being there for them, I think, is so important. That's yeah, and I know you do that, Wendy. I know you keep people in love, and it is difficult not to want to offer a whole lot of advice and a whole lot of guidance. And sometimes that can go one way or the other. I think maybe just for people to remember just to breathe, just to take some time for themselves and breathe, and just, you know, give them the opportunity, if they can, right? I know people live really busy lives, but the most nurturing thing that I can do for myself is to just stop when I'm, you know, going off mentally, or I'm just, it's like, what the heck, you know, it's just to sit down and breathe, and just relax and feel the love surrounding me. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, Wendy. Okay, so let's go and do our just a short meditation before we close today. And I want you to just relax and just begin to take those deep prana breaths. And it's the kind of breathing, not exactly like yoga breathing, more like Pilates breathing, I learned, is you breathe in through the nose and out through your mouth. and just draw in the golden particles through your crown chakra. Invite them in and feel them go into the pineal gland in the center of your head, where we have the signature cell, and they light up the blueprint and they turn into white light. And now draw them down into your heart chakra and exhale. And when you exhale, let that light come from your heart and just expand it. Start to expand it from your heart out from your physical body. And take some more deep breaths and let it expand out through your emotional body into your mental body. And feel your mental body relaxing. And feel yourself expand into your spiritual body until you're just in this bubble of light. And as you continue breathing, start to send your awareness now down into your heart and let it remain there for a time. And keep breathing and start weaving your mind's awareness of your heart with your heart vibration. And just start to feel this weave happening. You have your conscious thoughts, but you also have your heart energy, and they're weaving together. Now, I'd like you to see in front of you now an image of something, or it could be someone, that you felt challenged by recently. Someone who's healing, a situation that you're working on. It could be a relationship of some sort, or even a mental challenge that you have. Just bring it in front of you and just let it be there a moment. And so as you feel the presence of this, I want you to let go of trying to figure out why this is, why this person is doing this, why this situation is happening, what to do about it, and just be with it. And be willing to let go of any thought patterns that might be holding you in a particular space, and the things that you're thinking that aren't getting you what you want. And recognize that you have the answer to this in your cells, in your heart. You know what it means to take another step forward in love. No one else has your answer, but everyone else has a piece of your answer. So think about that. Now in front of you, just see this film, this lacy material start to materialize. And allow yourself to step through it and feel yourself suddenly standing in the light. And whatever you had that you were thinking about, that you were worrying about, you're concerned about, it's all behind you now. You've moved through it. And if you do the 5 or 50, if you keep going, you never have to look back. You never have to go back there. Just keep going forward, and you will be completely transformed into the vision of who you are now. So weave your heart and your love into this whole image now. Feel the love coming into you from your crown chakra into your heart. Know that you are never alone. You're always fully connected into the creator light and into the love of your higher self. You have an entourage of guides and angels that are cheering you on, lighting your path. So anytime you have anything that feels challenging, you'll know you have so many on your side cheering you on to keep moving forward in love, transforming your journey, and having and living your best lifetime ever. So just breathe and feel this and know this in your heart. And now gradually feel yourself sitting in your chair again and slowly coming back to our gathering here today. So everybody coming back slowly, and I just want to remind you that the meditation, you can always go back and do this again off of the recording, which will be on my YouTube channel or also on my website, KarinnaNielsen.com. Meditation is the most useful tool I have in my toolkit. I just love it. And you can always begin with the 5-breath self-healing meditation and then go into your safe space meditation, which we learn in the First Steps to Signature Cell Healing online workshop, which, as I said, is going to start on the 24th of August, and we'll have the registration opening shortly this month on the 25th. We're also going to be doing the Global Healing Meditation for Mother Earth on July 18th this month. That's a Thursday at 9 p.m. your local time. It's a great meditation. People all around the world do it together, send our light to Diamond Head, and create the weave around Mother Earth for healing and transformation of Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is shifting as well. Okay, so everybody seems to be back. Any questions or any shares from that meditation? Mary Faith says, this was so wonderful, felt like it was so perfect for me. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. I'm so happy that's a beautiful experience to have, is walking through that veil and transforming yourself. Imagine yourself to be that caterpillar moving into the butterfly transformation. Yes. And also want to mention that we'll be online again. Oh, Tatiana, please go ahead. Gotcha.
Thanks, Karinna. Thanks. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana.
I'm sorry. My husband is driving. I'm in the car with
Okay.
headphones listening. So
No worries. I hope you didn't
coming.
get into the meditation while driving.
Yes,
That'd
I
be
did. No, he's driving. I'm not driving. I'm
Oh,
coming from Napa, from Sonoma.
oh, very nice. Visit the vineyards for us.
Yes. Nice to see you back. See all of you back. I didn't see you for a while.
No, we're glad to have you back, and mahalo for those beautiful pictures you sent.
You're welcome.
All righty, we'll see you soon. She's coming back to Lemuria soon, so that'll be wonderful. Yes, so we'll be online tomorrow at the Honolulu Church of Light. So that's my church, that's Aldine's church, and Wendy goes there too, and Mary Faith. So everybody can go online. at HonoluluChurchOfLight.com. And there's a link on the homepage to come in live on, I think it's on YouTube. So just come on, and it starts at 9 a.m. Hawaii time. And there's also a recording of that if you can't make that. But we'd love to have you join us for the healing service. And you can always put in your healing prayer requests at info@HonoluluChurchOfLight.com. And we'll put it in the prayer bowl. I really have enjoyed being with you today. I look forward to seeing you in the online workshop coming up in August. We'll have one more Heart to Spirit Connections webinar on August 3rd. The September one won't take place because we'll be in the workshop. But please join me again next month. Send me emails at KarinnaNielsen.com. I love to hear from you, and I'm so grateful that you all joined us today. Thank you. Aloha Kailua people. And everybody, thank you so
Aloha,
much for
yeah.
being with me. Aloha, and see you next month.